Craig from Toyota. We're going to see how accurate Brian was with his answers. I have all of your questions right here. And so I want you to give me quick answers to these questions. Which is the most rugged trim for a dude?
Platinum iForce or Platinum Hybrid Max.
Platinum Hybrid Max, that's exactly what Brian said. Is this a Telluride killer?
This is a very competitive 3-row crossover, and I believe people will like it.
How much leg room is there in the center row with the third row flat?
And in the center row with the third row flat, you still have enough leg room for a 6'2" person to be very comfortable.
Okay, fair enough. So we're going to see if Brian can answer all these questions. They're right here. You left these on YouTube. So, Sue YouTube, road trip advantages.
USB-C ports in just about every seat in the vehicle.
7 of them. Madison 3 says, is this like bringing a gun to a knife fight compared to its competitors?
I think they've brought a lot of good things to this package that'll make it, again, very competitive, especially when it comes to size.
SG wants to know, the third row, when it's flat, does it change the amount of leg room in the center row?
No, the second row slides forward and backwards, and even with the third row fold, you can still slide them all the way back as far as you could when they were up.
Dose of Doug wants to know the price.
I believe it starts around $44,000 for an XLE trim. It goes all the way up to 58 fully loaded Hybrid Max Platinum trim with all-wheel drive.
If you add the destination charge and probably a couple other little things, you'll be
right around 60.
You'll be right around 60,000. Danielle Clifton, how does it drive?
It drives like a big SUV, but it's also very comfortable. It's definitely not going to outhandle some things, but in terms of long-term driving abilities, it's very comfortable.
Stud Muffin wants to know, did they eliminate the 12-volt ports?
We actually had to look for that earlier. They're not in the trunk. They're up front here in the center console, correct? That's where you found them, right?
No.
No? Oh.
No, Stud Muffin. They are right here in the armrest. There's only one. So I guess they just haven't used all the ones they have sitting in their warehouse.
I guess, or maybe they think USB-C is what you're rather going to want to use. I don't know.
Well, there's 2 household outlets. There's one in the center row, one in the cargo area, and then there's one 12-volt cigarette adapter style outlet in the center console. Conguasa 1, is the Highlander the new Rav-4?
No, I think everyone...
Meaning the old Highlander.
The old Highlander. The old Highlander is like the Kia Sorento of Toyotas. So it's that smaller, mid-sized 3-row with a usable third row, but not nearly as usable as this. The Rav4 can't get a third row, so there's still a niche for each one.
Arthur wants to know, this center console armrest, so I'm gonna, that we're talking about right here, is that popular with customers, or why did they put this in here? This, because the retractable top allows anybody to reach in here without disturbing someone else. So if you are resting your arm here on the armrest, and Brian wants to open,
and I'm in the back, if I'm in the back,
and you want to open that, he does not need to move my arm to open the center console.
And it's big.
And it is big.
A lot of room.
I kind of like that. So there you go, Arthur. That's the answer. Alex S. Will there be a TRD Pro version?
Ooh, they haven't said anything about one, but you know, TRD Pro is pretty popular.
You never know.
You never know. You never know.
Well, it is all-wheel drive. So the Pro Max version is all-wheel drive standard. That's what we're in.
This model's,
and for TRD Pro, you would definitely need all-wheel drive. So, but you probably would need some other things, some skid plates, maybe a higher ground clearance.
I don't think TRD Pro has been applied to a front-wheel drive-based vehicle yet in Toyota's lineup. It's mostly the truck-based stuff, so we'll have to see if they'll adapt it to this platform.
So Nita Handorf wants to see the test drive. So
stay tuned.
Nita, stay tuned because we have that coming. Okay. Shamir Montgomery wants to know, what's the gas tank size?
Oh no, that's the one thing I don't remember.
17.4 gallons, I think. Wow. 17 point something. I'll put it in the notes.
That's pretty big.
Let's see. Kent 100 SS wants to know, is there a spare tire?
Not on the Hybrid Max. I believe there is one on the regular Turbo, but there's probably not one on the Hybrid. I haven't looked in those yet.
Okay.
So definitely not if you get a Hybrid Max one.
Paul Neal wanted to know if we were in the limited edition in our test in Chicago. Do you remember what that was in the studio in Chicago?
They had,
was that the Platinum?
They were both Platinums, I believe.
They were both
and really, the main
yeah.
difference between the two is you lose this standard. You have to get it as an option in that limited trim level. It comes standard on Platinum, and you lose the ventilated second row seats in the limited. Those are like the main two like differences. There's a couple more things here and there, but
Bob D wants to know, shouldn't they just call this the Grand Sequoia?
no, because this is not as big as a Sequoia on the outside. The Sequoia is still bigger than this. However, the third row here is bigger than the Sequoia. So in that regard, yes, but no, not really.
Yeah, it's not the same size as the LX600 either.
No.
Those are bigger on the outside and smaller on the inside.
They're wider on the inside, but their legroom and those types of figures are smaller than this.
Javier Beltran wants to know about the remote start sequence. Did you try that out?
I did not have a chance to try that.
But typically, and here's Javier's question, is why do you have to hit the starter button after
When you
you've
get
remote
in.
started it? So,
Yeah.
which is typical of most cars with
I think
remote
everyone
start.
does that.
Yeah.
I think it's a safety measure. It's like they don't want the car to somehow roll away.
Or someone to hop in the car and
Hop in the
steal it after you've started it and while you're waiting for it to warm
Yeah.
up or cool down.
It gives you the chance to like deal with that situation before they get away. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
It saves,
So-
adds time.
So, sorry, Javier, you do have to hit the button
Yeah.
after you've remote started it, but at least the cabin temperature will be comfortable.
Exactly.
Jack Smith wants to know, is this luxury? Do you think it's luxury?
I think it is near luxury.
Premium.
Premium.
Yeah, I would call it premium too. Now, we are in the Platinum edition.
This is the nicest one.
And it does have, this is not leather, it's Softex.
No, on this top trim,
This
this
is
is
leather.
leather.
This
the
is leather.
XLE trim,
got-
that's got Softex fake
If you
leather.
can see this,
Mhm.
it's micro suede.
Yes.
I love micro suede.
These are heated and ventilated up front, heated and ventilated in the second row on the Platinum trim. But this is real leather. The base XLE trim is the faux leather Softex stuff.
And last question, Freddie Tejada wants to know, is this a good Uber Black vehicle?
Uber Black, honestly, a top Platinum trim I think could qualify. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's nice enough and it has enough room and it's got the amenities in the back with the ports and the air vents and the heated second row seats and all that. I think you could probably make a case for it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Platinum Edition has, now this is my question, there is not a second row bench.
Nope.
Only the captain's chair. So if you were thinking Uber Black, you would
That's
have room
the-
for 5 or 6 passengers if you've got somebody in the
Yep.
front seat. And then they say, Toyota says you can fit 7 suitcases, rollaboard bags in the third row, or in the cargo
Behind the
area
third
behind
row.
the third row.
Yeah.
So it potentially could be a nice Uber Black vehicle for airport runs and large groups.
Yeah.
5 or 6 people plus some luggage.
Yeah,
so.
if you're familiar with the Kia Telluride's space behind its third row, this is just a hair less, so it's going to be very similar in terms of what
It's
that
actually
can fit.
pretty big.
It's still very big.
It's pretty big, yeah. And with the headrests up, you can actually pile things pretty high back there without chance of it.
And you get the digital rear view mirror camera, so
Digital rear
it's
view
not standard on all
mirror.
models, but we have it here, so if you do fill it up back there, you can still get a view out the back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. With the full house, you still have a good view. Thank you for your questions, you guys. It was a lovely way to kick off our test drive of the Toyota Grand Highlander, and I hope that you will navigate over to our Grand Highlander first drive video. Thanks for being here.